growth, converting attack speed items to direct damage. But one of the most effective things about Jin is that the gap between your autos allows you time to move, giving you just as much DPS as a stationary enemy AD carry, but gives you the ability to waltz around the battlefield.
Jin with that very powerful fourth shot, obviously. Being an execute, actually, which is always powerful in this game. Taking low health characters and taking that fourth shot and chunking them at what sometimes isn't the lowest health possible.
Yes, I have seen Jin fourth shots during the mid game nearly half health tanks, which is an incredible sight to behold if you are on the same team as the Jin. Otherwise, that can be absolutely terrifying, which means that this Ahri is actually going to be very hard-pressed trying to get onto it. But it will be interesting seeing the laning phase against Camille. What are your thoughts on that?
The laning phase against Camille, I like that Camille has taken Cleanse here instead of a barrier, a teleport, or anything like that. Yes, she loses the global presence and that ability to soak damage, but against an Ahri, a Cleanse is very important for removing that charm. And speaking of charms, it would appear that Tanuki is actually running a really charming team here with the Ahri charm and the Rakan charm being used here as well.
Yes, the Rakan, with his ability to dance across the battlefield, especially with that Xayah, it enables so many pick potential, so much pick potential, as well as allows him to leap back to his lover's side in an instant, pulling himself out of the aggro zone of the entire enemy team, so he is not able to be focused down. Plus, with that Shen tank, that provides an excellent point for Rakan to leap off of.
This is also a chance for Poppy to possibly scale very well early and mid into this game rather than making the comeback in the very late game. Shen not being as aggro a lane as she has been encountering against Tanuki with the Nautilus, the Camille, and other things. But this definitely looks like a much more winnable lane for her. As for jungling goes, Ivern and Lee Sin both being very good gankers, more so Ivern with the counter gank, but regardless, very good at clearing the jungle. So it's going to be interesting to see how the control of pathing as well as ganking is going to be divided among both junglers.
Personally, I would not be surprised if we end up seeing the Lee Sin going deep into the Ivern's jungle at several points, seeing if not if he can get a camp, but if he can find that Ivern clearing his camps and make a play to try to kill him fast.
Yeah, Ivern usually running very low on health and being very open to counter jungling, which a lot of people do not take advantage of.
Ivern's incredibly weak damage early game is reliant entirely on building utility with his teammates nearby as that damage source. So it will be interesting to see if Lee Sin tries to take advantage of that and just go in and destroy the forest of the enemy team.
Absolutely. And looking at Summer Cells, we're seeing some pretty standard matchups. Jin obviously with that Deathfire touch and some Thunderlord's Decrees run as well for the offensive characters to get that nice early game poke in.
With the game about to be loading in, we will be very interested in seeing how that mid lane matchup goes. I have not seen a whole lot of Camille mids, which will hopefully end up being an interesting thing to watch.
Absolutely. All right, and we are having the first characters load right on into the Rift here. Looking to be definitely a very interesting game, as Legends are definitely looking to seal out this competition, this match early, so they can secure their third place position here in the tournament. But also Tanuki looking to do the reverse sweep here.
Yes, they look to be executing the same strategy as previous games, going in for
It looks like
invade.
They're going to be going head-to-head in this one. They're totally seen out. We're going to have a level 1 engage, and it looks like Ivern forced to flash out. Flash from Lee Sin, going to hit the first blood. Lee Sin, though, going to be very low, going to be taken out by the Zyra here. And it looks like a lot of the members of Tanuki are going to be taken very low. they predicted that they would go for the 5-man invade again. Zyra going to be getting charmed here, and
we are blacking out on this screen. It seemed that
there
the
we go.
connection disappeared for a second, but overall, only 1 kill down for each side, and many members knocked low, more so on the side of Tanuki.
All right, yeah, but definitely a good job on the Legends 27's part, looking at what Tanuki's doing, always doing that 5-man invade. They were able to catch them out early, and if the, I believe it was the Ivern, or the Camille, that was stepping outside the bush, they would have been able to pull it off a lot cleaner without Tanuki ever expecting it.
Yeah, and it is very impressive just seeing these teams going after each other, and it is quite interesting seeing how, because of the first blood gold, how it's been reduced over time, there has literally been only a 1 or a 0.1k advantage to Team Tanuki because of that first blood they got.
Charm going to go down on Camille, seeing a very even trade being done here, although Rakan getting very poked out down bot.
I think we are going to be seeing a return to
Actually, did Ivern actually do that? I think he did. Yeah, he stole actually Lee Sin's blue buff.
Very nicely done. That means that if he ends up collecting his buffs as well, that will be, he is going to be definitely trying to look at 3-buffing this Lee Sin right off the bat.
Absolutely. This leaves Lee Sin at a very large disadvantage here. Without that gold he's going to be getting from that buff. This makes it so Ivern definitely has the control over the jungle, and it puts Lee Sin kind of on edge here. Also, though, looking at top lane, Lee Sin looking to go for the counter jungle here, but he's only going to find Krugs if he continues on in, it would appear.
Looks like a quick trade up top with advantage on the Shen, but that minion aggro cannot be underestimated as it brings low that Shen, making the trade actually even as far as we can tell. In mid lane, I'm really expecting that...
Ivern gank coming in, Camille able to get on there, forcing the Ahri flash. Oh, but we have Rakan getting dangerously low down there as well. All lanes for Tanuki are taking heavy damage. Lee Sin's here to bring in the counter gank, and Camille's getting caught out here, having to burn flash there in order to get out. And she's going in on the Lee Sin. They're going back in. Charm lands on Ivern, but we got a teleport coming in from the Poppy here, trying to get him under turret. I don't know if they exactly want to do this at level 3. It looks like they're going to have to back off there, though. But both sides forced to burn many summoner spells. 4 flashes are already burned on Tanuki's side, as well as 2 flashes and other summoner... Actually, no, 3 flashes have been burned on the Legend side. But the root's going to come off on Rakan, and he's going to get poked out again.
This Zyra able to throw so much aggressive damage down on the bot lane. It is incredible the amount of power that this Zyra has. With the just aggressive plants that are constantly able to hit her opponents, she just is able to shred the life bars of this duo bot. And while Rakan does have healing and shields, he is being very hard pressed to keep alive against the consistent aggression thrown out by this Queen of Thorns.
Absolutely. And we see Jhin and Zyra both remaining very healthy here, though. Being able to poke people away from a far distance and keep them 4 shots ready for when Zyra snares up one of the carries there, and Jhin is able to do a fair amount of DPS.
We are seeing this game as dead even in gold. The only difference is 0.1k, maybe less than actually. The game is just very even, and right now the CS in nearly every lane is even, with a small advantage top lane and for Tanuki, and a small advantage bot lane for the Legends 27.
It's here. We're going to have to see. Lee Sin's going to come in. Rakan going to go behind, going to knock up the Zyra right there. She's getting poked out with no flash. She's going to get knocked out of there. Jhin trying to get a return here on the kill. Gonna miss the flourish right there, and the 3 members of Tanuki are going to be able out. But Camille's here, And she's going to be going in on that Lee Sin, dishing out a lot of damage here. But it looks like Shen's going to be teleporting in here, I believe. Or did he cancel teleport, I believe. Or actually, I think Poppy knocked him out of it with her pin.
That was a very solid play on the Poppy's part. That blows a massive summoner.
Uh-oh, Ari being caught out here. She's not 6 yet. She can't get out of here. She does not have flash. But it looks like Lee Sin going to come in, and they're going to pick up the kill on Camille. But they're going more. Ari got 6 off of that. She's going under turret, but she's taking many tower shots here. They get the double kill on Ivern. Xayah going to be going in on there, but the Jhin is going to be able to land that 3rd shot on her and kill her right there.
This game is incredibly tense. The teams are dead even. Tanuki is executing very, very well on the early game, but the Legends 27 keep on fighting back and doing their best to make sure that any advantage that is earned is,
Just
they earn something just as good back. We have 2 kills on the Jhin, which is going to be proving very effective, whereas a lot of the kills are actually stacked on the Lee Sin, where that will be affecting other lanes more. That won't transition as well as the game progresses.
Yeah. When your jungler has the kills, yes, he will have that power potential, but you don't have the option to propel a lane even farther. Ari does have 3 assists, leaving her the most ahead out of any of the lanes here in terms of the gold given from those assists. But with that Jhin having that 2 kills and a 1 assist, he is going to start rolling into that hyper carry that he needs to be to shut out a game here. Also, with a large deficit in levels, actually, Rakan just hitting 5. And how close is Xayah to hitting 6? She is still about an 1/8 of an experience bar away from hitting that next level.
And when you were talking about the junglers and kills, you are absolutely right. It has to be the laners that get the kills, because when the jungler gets the kill and the laners get the assists, what happens is the jungler benefits, or the lanes benefit from the jungler when he ganks. But when he isn't around, it's the same as normal. The gold you get from an assist is not as significant as the gold you get from a kill. But if you give that kill to the laner, the jungler frequently doesn't have to go back because the lane is already winning in the favor of that of your team because they got the kill.
We see Shen here doing an optimal job of trying to get this Poppy away, but it looks like Lee Sin's going to be up here. He hasn't used his taunt yet. He's definitely going to use it here to try to get her away before she uses the hammer here, maybe? And Shen is blasted away, and the Poppy remains safe.
With this Zyra bot lane, she is working under turret with her autos, trying to see if she can end up CSing under turret. But Zyra is one of the stranger champions in that regard. It is far harder for her to get these...
Ari hunting for double buffs here, but Daisy going to come in, going to block her from getting close to Ivern. Davy's going to get the knock him on here, but he's going to get the kill on her, but Camille is going to get the kill onto Shen as well. Double kill going down in the mid lane. We see here Jhin and Zyra able to dish out tons of damage and just make Xayah and Rakan just back off of their own turret.
Small mistake by Xayah there. She underestimated the range and the double cast ability that Rakan's dash has. With the ability to cross over so much distance towards Xayah, he was able to quickly dodge out of that Zyra's ult and make it an ineffective spell cast that has a very long cooldown, probably 45 seconds.
We might actually have a dive here, potentially. Or I think they're just looking to push the turret here with what's left of Daisy. This still has not drawn the attention of Lee Sin. However, he is in the topside jungle. Look like he's going to be coming around for a gank. He is still not seen by the vision of the Legends here.
Seems that the Rakan was a little late on that shield, and the Jhin ended up getting some damage on Xayah because the shield did not get on her fast enough before the bouncing grenade landed.
Absolutely. Yeah, Jin and Zyra just synchronizing perfectly with the CC and the ability to land those 4 shots with Jin. Uh-oh, it looks like Lee Sin's in here. Rakan engaging very early, actually, on this fight. Xayah blowing her ult there. Rakan's getting really low, actually, though, but it looks like... Oh, it looks